Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. If you would please stand on your feet and let's welcome our graduates today.
Families and grow their economies. So the question is no longer whether early childhood matters to our region. The question is whether we're willing to treat it with the same intentionality that we give other forms of economic infrastructure. And the good news is we're not starting from ground zero. There's already important work happening across our region Southside through our school divisions, our child care providers, our Head Starts, our employers, our higher education partners.
If you would please remain standing as we recite together the Pledge of Allegiance.
Organizations. Our opportunity now is
I
to
pledge
connect that work.
allegiance to the flag.
At the Center for Early Success, we don't believe that we as an organization can or should solve this problem alone.
Under God.
Our role is to bring the right people to the table, turn the data into shared priorities, and connect people who have a challenge with people who may have a
the new front line for America's defense manufacturing industry. ATDM stands for Accelerated Training in Defense Manufacturing. And working to inspect and measure parts to ensure quality and safety sounds rewarding. Then quality control inspection, also known as metrology, may be the perfect fit for you. Does working in our state-of-the-art CNC machining lab sound exciting? Or you could lean into the technology of the future in our additive manufacturing lab. If you're someone who likes analyzing results and problem solving, then non-destructive testing could be the perfect fit for you. What makes our program so special is not just the quality of the facilities and the instructors, it is the speed to career. We prepare you to enter the workforce in just 4 months with no prior experience required. To learn more, visit us online at atdm.org.
Make sure that you get the presentation as well as the story mapped out. And we invite you to reach out to us at Center for Early Success, Angela Wells, our Executive Director, myself, Director of Engagement program excellence, or any of the other
They are
events
the
in our
men and women
leadership team.
building our
That
Navy's
are
next generation
resources.
submarines.
I would also like to
They
say
are
again,
giants
our
in what
website
they
is a wealth
do
of knowledge.
because they work in a place where they can grow, where they can learn the skills to build careers as powerful as the beasts they forge. We build giants because it takes one to build one.
Good morning and welcome. My name is Telly Tucker. I serve as the president here at the Institute for Advanced Learning and Research. What an exciting day it is. I want to congratulate all of our work over the last 16 weeks, 600 plus hours of training. You have achieved a major milestone over the last 4 months, and yet this is a new beginning, a new opportunity for you. Really excited to see where your careers take you from here. Please know that you are forever part of the IALR family and alumni. You're always welcome back home, so to speak. Thank you to all the visitors, the friends, and the families that are gathered here today in support of this ATDM program and our graduates today. We couldn't do what we do without you all. Many of you represent partner entities and organizations. Today, I'd specifically like to recognize the Pennsylvania County Board of Supervisors members that are here today. Thank you, sir, for being with us, for joining us. And Ms. Rhonda Hodges, who serves on the ILR Foundation Board of Directors. Thank you for being here as well. We have a number of industry partners who may be here, some of which probably are employers of our graduates today. Thank you for your continued partnership as well. With this, many people often ask, what is ILR? How did this all come to be? The relationship with Navy, certainly, and the Department of War, and the mission. It all came about because this region had the vision and the foresight and the investment made in workforce training, particularly in skilled trades and manufacturing. In this region, we educate young people as early as age 11, 12, and 13. We put automated reality and virtual reality welders in the hands of sixth graders in classrooms. And we believe that there are incredibly valuable career opportunities available to people in manufacturing, engineering, and skilled trades. And so we are intentional about doing that at the middle school, and the high school, and the college level, and even here, yes, at the adult level. And all of that investment got the attention of the United States Navy and the Department of War in the sense that they were looking for a partner that could help execute an accelerated, a scalable, a national training program like ATDM. And so while this class small today represents just one training track of welding, we do have 4 other training tracks, and we will be training 800 to 1,000 students every year beginning next year. So thank you again for being here. Just a little bit about ILR, the ATDM program, and how this all came together. If you will join me now in welcoming our Executive Vice President for Manufacturing Advancement, Mr. Jason Wells.
Thank you, President Tucker. My name is Jason Wells. My role here is Executive Vice President of Manufacturing Advancement. Our department is responsible to the ATDM program. I am responsible to the incredible team that shows up every day to deliver this impactful program. I typically see these students, besides maybe in the hallways, either on tours, or they get to hear from me typically when they get here at orientation, and then when they're graduating out. So many of you, last time you probably talked to me or heard from me was during orientation. During orientation, I always make it a point to let them know that this program owes them nothing, that they're going to have to work to get through this program. Our obligation is to offer them an opportunity, and every opportunity to succeed, but we can't want it more than them. And it's interesting because as we come to the close and come to this graduation, that orientation room had quite a few more people in it than our graduation class has here today. So before I go into what I want to share with you, I just want to reiterate that this program is not a program that can afford to hand out participation trophies. This is a program that has to be earned. And I hope the words that I say to you today will resonate with you why we have to have certain standards, and why we have to ask these students to go through certain obstacles and challenges in order to get to this point and into this finish line. We're very purposeful in that process. If this was just purely based off of participation, if this was purely based off of quantity versus quality, I assure you there'd be a lot more seats sitting here in front of me and a lot more people sitting here in front of me. So as we look at this group of folks that are graduating today, we're looking at people who really earned something. They worked through long hours. They came in early mornings. Some of them worked off shifts, late afternoons, late evenings. They went through a lot of laying beads that just didn't look right. They had welds that they had to cut out and do all over again. Tons of frustration, tons of fatigue, and I guarantee you tons of moments in their head where they're like, what the heck am I doing? So those are all the emotions that they go through these 16 weeks. Is 16 weeks of 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. This is a job. They literally worked at getting to this point. They came back, though, this group right here in front of me, they came back each and every day and did it again, despite all those obstacles, despite all those challenges, despite all the personal life that they left on hold for 4 months to get to this point. And that's what makes today so important. Today is not just about welding. It's not just about learning how to strike an arc. It's about learning discipline. It's learning consistency. It's learning about responsibility. It's about learning to control something that can be incredibly powerful and incredibly unforgiving. And eventually, it's about learning that someone else is going to trust your work with their life. And that's why we're purposeful in what we do here. That's why not everyone makes it across the finish line. Today isn't the finish line, though. Today is actually the starting line. You stand at a point where American strength and need meets American skill and labor. And I want you to understand what that means. Every generation faces a test. Ours is no different. Technology is changing faster than ever. Manufacturing is becoming more sophisticated, and our defense systems are becoming more complex. The margin for error in many of the industries that you will enter is incredibly small and continues to get smaller. But one thing hasn't changed. America still depends on people who know how to build and want to build. Welders are among those people. Think about what a welder touches: ships, submarines, aircrafts, power plants, bridges, pipelines, manufacturing systems, heavy equipment, automobiles. They touch the entire infrastructure that keeps our communities running. You may look at a weld and see a bead of metal. An engineer may see a structural connection, an inspector, a critical acceptance criteria. A shipbuilder may see a component that's been completed. But the person ultimately depending on that weld, they see something completely different. They see their life depending on that. That is a responsibility that you all are accepting today as you graduate and move into industry. Let me take you somewhere for a second to kind of to solidify the responsibility that you're about to make it a little bit real. The United States Navy has learned some of the hardest lessons imaginable about the importance of workmanship, quality, and the joining process. On April 10th, 1963, the USS Thresher was conducting deep diving tests off the coast of Massachusetts. She never came back. 123 people lost their lives. The Navy's investigation concluded that a failure in a saltwater piping system involving a joint was a critical part of the casualty. And here's what I want every welder, you new welders in the room, to understand. The lesson wasn't simply that a joint failed. The lesson was that the integrity of a joining process can become the hinge or the linchpin for the entire system. A joint can look acceptable, a system can pass a test, a component can leave a shipyard. And yet, if the process, material, inspection, and most importantly, workmanship aren't correct and don't all align, the consequences can be and often are catastrophic. After the Thresher, the U.S. Navy dramatically strengthened its approach to submarine quality assurance and inspection. They started creating new techniques that included new processes to try to prevent that from happening. That is part of the reason that the Navy today talks so seriously about what they call subsafe, a term that you'll learn real soon. Because when you're hundreds or thousands of feet beneath the surface, there is no margin for probably good enough. There are only two options, right and not right. And that's where this profession becomes incredibly important, because you're going into an industry where the person performing the work, you, may never meet the person whose life is going to depend on it. The sailor doesn't know your name. The commander of a submarine will not know your name. A pilot in an aircraft that you may weld on will not know your name. The family waiting for them to safely get home will not know your name. But they have to put their trust in you. They have to put their trust in the work you do anyway. They have to trust the work that you left behind. They have to extend their trust beyond just the Navy or any quality process. I want to give you another example about our everyday life, so we really, as everyday citizens, appreciate what welders mean to the world. On July 17th, 1981, hundreds of people gathered inside a Hyatt Regency hotel in Kansas City. They were dancing, celebrating, and it was a festive Friday night. And then a suspended walkway collapsed. 114 people died and more than 200 were injured. The disaster became one of the most studied structural failures in American engineering history. And the lesson wasn't that the metal was weak. The lesson was the failure was hidden in a structural connection. The connection could not safely carry that load. A connection that looked like a collection of steel and welds became a matter of life and death. And that's what I want everyone to remember, and the responsibility that these folks have learned, trained on, and are getting ready to accept. A weld is never just a weld. It's a connection between a sailor and his family, a pilot and her crew, a worker and his family, a passenger and the people waiting for those passengers to get safely home. That hopefully will change when you pick up your torch, how you approach the torch, how you approach preparation, how you approach fit up, how you control the heat, read the procedure, follow the policies, inspect your own work. Be brave enough to say when something doesn't look right, because professionalism isn't saying, I think it'll be okay, or this should pass. Professionalism is saying, I'm going to find out. It's having the courage to stop, to ask questions, to hold yourself accountable, to hold yourself to another level. And that's what I hope you take from this program. Not just the ability to make a weld, but the ability to take the responsibility for the weld that you create. There is a difference. Anybody can run a bead. A professional learns how to understand why that bead matters and make the connections to it. Your hands still matter. Your judgment is definitely going to matter, and your reputation matters. And where your name can become your greatest asset. Years from now, people may not remember that you graduated from ATDM. They may not remember your GPA. They may not remember any awards you may have received, but they will remember whether they can trust you or not. They will remember the work that you've completed. They will remember if you showed up and if you did what you said you were going to do, and if you did the right things when no one was looking. That's your reputation, and you are beginning to build that today. Now, there is something else I want you to understand. You don't have to wear a uniform to serve this country. You don't have to carry a weapon to defend this nation. Sometimes defense looks like a welder standing in a shipyard at 2 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes it looks like a technician working on a submarine that most Americans will never see. Sometimes it looks like a person behind a welding hood laying down a critical joint that will eventually go to sea. And sometimes patriotism looks very simple. Show up, do your job, and do it right. And refuse to compromise when it matters. That's the skilled trades. That's what you are joining. You're joining a generation of Americans who built bridges that span across this country, factories where we work, the ships that protect our shores, the planes that protect our skies, the infrastructures that power our communities. And now you're about to become a part of that legacy. So you should be very proud today of what you're about to embark upon. You definitely earned it. Be proud of the hours you put in. They meant something. Be proud of the frustration that you went through, because I assure you it's only going to get worse from here. Be proud of the welds that you had to grind out and do over, because it taught you the right way to do it. And be proud of finally having to get it right to get to this point today. You didn't quit, and that means a lot, because again, there were a lot more of you when I stood in front of you in orientation. So you're going to go put on your hood here soon. You're going to go pick up your torch. Somebody's going to put you in front of a part, hand you a piece of metal, and say, we need this done and we need it right. And when that happens, I hope you remember sitting in this room. I hope you remember what got you here. I hope you remember all the people that supported you to get you here. And most importantly, I hope you remember the instructors that helped guide you to get you to that point. Because you're not simply joining metal. Again, you're joining a legacy, and you're about to build our ships, our aircrafts, our infrastructure, our systems, and our very nation. Make no mistake, America still builds despite what you might see in the media, and we still innovate. And for now, we still lead. And it will continue to rely on you. The generations that are about to come behind you will rely on the work you're about to embark on. Your work has to last long beyond you. We have submarines out there that are approaching 50 years old, still diving hundreds of thousands of feet under the surface of the ocean, still relying on those welds that you'll soon put onto the next class of Columbia or Virginia class submarines, people just like you. So I hope you build with skill, I hope you build with integrity, and I hope you build with pride. Your greatest accomplishment will not be the number of welds you make, it will be the number of people who can safely depend on the number of welds that you make. Today, you're not just receiving a certificate, but you are accepting that responsibility. You're becoming the people that are going to build the future of America and the safety of our nation. So America needs you more than ever. The Navy needs you, manufacturing needs you, and your communities need you. So hold your head high, be proud of what you've earned, put your hood down, strike your arc, and make something that lasts. Thank you.
Testing. Good morning again to everyone. At this time is the moment that we've all been waiting for, the next part in celebrating the graduation of our welding students. Our graduates today represent one small but mighty group of welders. Throughout their training, they have developed hands-on experience, industry knowledge, and the professional skills necessary to succeed in high-demand careers. Before we begin calling the names, let's give them another round of applause. At this time, I would like to introduce the instructors and technicians who worked countless hours to help these students get to this point. Faculty, as I call your name, please stand to be recognized. Daryl Buchanan, first shift welding instructor. Autumn King, first shift welding technician. Hector Garcia, first shift welding fabrication instructor. Michaela Baker, second shift welding instructor. Jonathan Grubb, second shift welding technician. Matthew Walker, second shift welding fabrication instructor. Colby King, third shift welding instructor. William Anderson, third shift welding technician, who's currently in the lab. And Kennedy King, third shift welding fabrication instructor. Without further ado, we will begin the best part of the ceremony. To the stage, please come Daryl Buchanan, and Autumn King is his technician who is not here today. Kamaje Davis. Ostolfi de los Santos. Jaden Dudley. Benjamin Fernandez. Noah Humes. Ping Ping In. Nick Markowitz. Ezekiel Reyes Hernandez. Next to the stage, second shift welding instructor Michaela Baker and technician Jonathan Grubb. Sarah Allen. Tyler Livingston. Egan McGonigal. David Sundag. Savannah Willard. Next to the stage, third shift welding instructor Colby King. Nicholas Danvers. Kevin Dean. Anthony Manina. And Travion Pritchett. Congratulations again to each of our graduates. Your hard work, commitment, and determination have prepared you to take the next step in your professional journey. At this time, we'll have Mr. Telly Tucker provide our closing remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Thomas. Once again, congratulations to our graduates. If you graduates would turn around and give a round of applause and a thank you to your families and friends who've come to support you and who supported you over the last 16 weeks while you were training. Thank you. Just to underscore a few things that Mr. Wells said earlier today, this is just a beginning. We are anxious to see where your career takes you from now, and know that the skills that you've gained, the hard work that you've put in over the last 4 months, may save a life of somebody who's very close to you. Could be your own child, your friend, your family member, maybe future generations of your family. That's really important. And so I want to tip my hat to you as well and say thank you again for all the hard work you put in, and best of luck to you. On behalf of our partners at Navy, the Department of War, the ILR Board of Trustees as well, it's my pleasure to officially proclaim that you are graduates of the Accelerated Training and Defense Manufacturing Program. Let's give them one more round of applause. This officially concludes our program, but students, if you would please come to the stage for a group photograph. Family members will take one photograph as a group, and then you'll have an opportunity to take pictures with your loved ones and your friends. All right, thank you so much.